student, welcome in political science class. Students, today our topic is reform of the United Nations after the Cold War. Why Cold War? Because Cold War when become end, then many new situations established in the world organizational platform. Because after the end of the Cold War, when USSR disintegrated, only America remains hegemonious power, and America had occupied the powerful place on the world platform. So many countries argued those become the newly members of the United Nations, and countries those were gained the power and strength in the field of capital and military. They raised a question about the taking decision model of United Nations organizational structure reform demanded by the many countries. And point number first, two basic kinds of reform face the UN. The United Nations had faced two basic kinds of reform. Number first, the organization's structure and process. Organizations means the Security Council was many restrictions due to take the decisions. Security Council had only 5 members, and these members have veto power. They can use their veto to break any policy or any plan about any country. So many world countries had demanded to change the organizational structure of the United Nations, but it was not possible because for the United Nations Security Council member, some guidelines are fixed, and other countries contemporary time could not completed these criteria. But United Nations has taken decision 10 members of the United Nations will be permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, and the terms will be 2 years, and after 2 years again election will be, and new members can enter in the unpermanent Security Council. So it changed, but these unpermanent members have not veto power. So one change in the organization and structures. The structure was very restrictions in the United Nations because the many countries demanded the structural power should be changed, and many bodies, many works should be included in the works of the United Nations. And third, the process, decision taking process also should be changed. And second, the jurisdiction of the organization. Jurisdiction means limitations of power. The power are used by the United Nations all over world countries to establish peace and security. So what will be the limitations of the United Nations organization? It should be demand for the reform by the world countries under the jurisdiction model of the United Nations organization. Point number second, the biggest discussion was functioning of the Security Council. Security Council is the major council of United Nations, and the Security Council members are taking major decision because they had veto power. Veto power means if any country is against among the Security Council and the United Nations is going to take any decision, they can break that decision. That decision will not final. It used to make the peace and security in the world. But after Cold War, many countries used this veto power against any country. Like China has used many times this veto power against India. India gone in the United Nations to declare world terrorist in the many terrorist leader of Pakistan, but always China used against India this veto power and make the Pakistani terrorists safe. So, with India, all over world countries had demanded to discuss and modify the Security Council taking decision. Function of Security Council. Point number third. The Soviet Union has collapsed in 1991. In 1991, the Soviet Union had collapsed. And with the collapse of the Soviet Union, the Cold War ended because the USSR always made competition in front of the America, and due to the Afghanistan civil war, the USSR had funded lot of money, capital and the military forces in Afghanistan, and its investment of the USSR made USSR weak. And another cause of the disintegration of USSR, many countries of the European, those joined in the USSR, they demanded for the independence. Due to these cause, to our main region, many other region over there, due to the two main cause, the Soviet Union had collapsed and America remained only one hegemonious power in the world, and this also demanded the reformation of the United Nations. And point number 4, many new countries have joined the United Nations and they demanded for the reform for their profit. Means the newly joined countries can take more profit from the United Nations schemes like welfare scheme, other scheme. They demanded the reform, and many new challenges like civil war, ethnic conflict also increased with the terrorist challenge in all over world. So countries had demanded for the control of the civil war, terrorist, ethnic conflict in the world countries should be reformed the United Nations. So student, we have discussed about the reform of the Union after the Cold War. Student, it should be remembered by all students, the United Nations is the world organization. This world organization can provide the platform for the negotiation, because United Nations cannot force any country to stop the terrorist, civil war and other things. Only United Nations can use this platform for the negotiation. Okay student, thanks.